So far, so good, everybody. We've been testing this out. We've been testing out the children. Look, I've been missing her. You know what her new name is? Hey, everybody, by the way, I've been missing Harriet. And Harriet gets incredibly jealous and she doesn't like other children because Harriet says, I was born next to Christ. But not only that, I'm only the real child in this house. The rest of you are adopted. Harriet, that's incredibly rude. I know. I missed her. Hey, missed her. Hey, Pamela Perfect. Mods, thank you for being here. Meredith Lynn. Hey, Liz Tricks. Hey, Winner 500. Lady O, Aspire to Inspire. We'll see how long this lasts, but we just really, yeah, we did, didn't we? We had a discussion and we were like, I really missed the spotlight. Oh. Did you know that you were this little though? Honestly, I want an honest answer. Like, did you? Hey, Puka Vista. Hey, Cliff Ann. Hey, Donna Cooper. Hey, Kathy Ann. Other Kathy Ann. Trixie. Peggy Collins. Scientology up north. I'd like a real truthful answer though. Like, did you know that you were going to be this tiny? Did you know you were going to be this small in life? Like, did you know that you were going to look like a frosted mini wheat with eyeballs? She says, Of course I did. I came from Christ. Hey, Bo Beats. Hey, Honey Lou. Catherine B. Hey, Anne. Bohemian Luciferian Witch. Armine. I know I brought her in here mainly for you. Jamie Palmer. Happy birthday. We've got Jamie. We've got Tiffany. Hey, no one. Tiffany Mycentinic. Minotaur. I don't know how to say your last name, Tiff, but I love you. And that doesn't mean any less just because I can't pronounce your name. I still love you all day long. Hey, Carrie Wilson. Hey, Starlina. It's her birthday. It's also Charisse Forno's birthday because I told her happy birthday. Hey, Topsy on Facebook. And I also just want to say, guys, I haven't seen her in here yet, but Shelly Kelly. Hey, Brian Bolin. Shelly Kelly. I don't want to give up information, but just send thoughts for her and her family, please. She kind of talked about it in my last stream, and I'm just feeling sad for her. And the mods are with her, and I'm with her, and just if you guys would do that, we love Shelly Kelly. She's family, and she's going through a rough time. Trixie, pronounced Mitnick. Okay. Hey, Marissa Martin, Mitnick. Really? God, that was so much harder in my head. Every time I look at your name on Facebook, I'm like, that Tiffany Mycenic, Mitt Snack, Cumberbatch, Snatch. Hey, Peter. Hey, Linda Carlson. Either way, happy birthday. Hey, Han Ratty, and I love you. Love you, Shelly Kelly. We're with you, girl. Hey, Joanne Hawley, SPTV watcher from the road. I love that. Reese, do you believe in aliens? Says Bo Beats. What a question. Hey, Checks, antics of a mama squirrel. It is Finn's bed, so he doesn't tear up that chair. Do I believe in aliens? I've always believed in aliens. I think it's crazy not to. If you go outside and look out there, I mean, how could we be the only ones? Hey, Wendy Ramirez. Hey, Linda Perales. Marie Marion. Oh, really little. I kind of figured that, Trixie girl. Here's to continued fur baby peace and serenity. Liz Trix, that is really kind. Oh, did you know though? But did you know that you were going to be born in a manger next to the Lord? Of course I did. I know everything. I look down upon all of you. I'm better than all of you, she says. I know more than everyone. Okay, that's awfully judgy. We're going to do it probably Friday or Saturday, Bo. Thank you for your super chat, Liz. And honestly, the peace and serenity is a real thing because she's coexisting. Hey, Lee Sane, Robin, she's coexisting with Finn right now. Now, I will say this. Hey, Irish Mart. Oh, you're really small too. We've been calling her Harriet lately, and we don't know why. We've just changed it to Harriet. I think because she's full of sass, and she really wants you to know about it, don't you? Did you know this? Oh my God. You're so little. Hey, Angie Moe. I told my ex what? Hey, Chris H. Told my ex what? I can't be in limbo anymore. I need a divorce. That's rough. Hey, Kim is blue. Where the hell have you been? Um, one sec, guys. Were you called people cupcake lover or kitten head or such? Well, why don't we just come up with one right now and call you a little horse pony hair? I mean, I don't see why not. I've always wanted to be a horse pony hair. Hey, Imogen Groves, pony hair. That's your name, pony hair. I got a documentary about cats, and apparently their energy has a biological positive effect on human beings. I believe that. So, speaking of, me too, Brian Dolan. I mean, Gertie's not getting along with him. He's getting along with her. Hey, old Charlie. Hey, Lumen. Fenny Bun Buns. Fenny Bun Buns? Fenny Bun Buns. That's what we call him. So I get that. Me too, Bo Beats. Hey, Lisa Kelson. Say hey to Craig. He has been, yesterday, I cleaned my house, vacuumed, cleaned the kitchen. And what we've been doing is during the daytime, you guys may or may not know this. What are their names? What are our other kids? Seamus. I'm glad to see you, Kim is blue. Hey, Nicole Hazelmiller. Seamus and Moose, his brother Moose, they go out during the day. They're out all day long. So the only cat in here is Kid. Well, Kid is not the most active. She likes to snack, and that's perfectly fine. No one's judging that, right? I think she gets it from me. But she just sits around. She's not like running around the house. Well, he doesn't either. He does what he's doing right here on my desk. So yesterday, he's not afraid of the vacuum at all, nor is Kid, right? Craig, I love that. Thanks again for the HBO, Craig. It's pony hair. Yeah, just one single hair. No Scientology up north, but thank you. So yesterday he sat on the kitchen counter. Hey, Elizabeth Miller. And I'm talking for like hours. He's starting to get, is Kestrel in here? Brian Bowen, become a Scientologist and you'll clean your house all the time. That's what Scientologists are forced to do, especially ones like me that were in lower conditions all day. We just clean. So that's my style. What was I saying? So let me see if I have I have a hair in my eye. Just sat there. He just sat there. Hey, Kestrel, there you are. Finn just sat there for hours. Like while I vacuumed, I cleaned, and trust me, guys, he's, as far as we know, he's feline leukemia positive. So he's sitting next to me, Kestrel. So I do not want him interacting with my other cats. But here was the good news. The other two boys were outside. Kid was just sitting on a cat tree, and he just sat in the kitchen all day. He's starting to get a little bit restless, and he doesn't want to just sit in here all day, which is fine because he goes and he sits up and perches up on the kitchen counter. He doesn't do anything else. So far, he's not interested in running around. He's not really active. He just wants to observe. He just sits there. You can tear up that rug. I don't mind you tearing at the rug, Finny. So he just sits there. And I really pay attention to it. Just for the people who are freaking out, I want you to know I pay attention to it. Hey, Eric, that I want to make sure that they are separated, right? So he doesn't go anywhere near Kid. Kid's not interested in him. And he just sits there. And I liked it. And I was watching him while I was vacuuming, and he just was checking everything out. So that's the update on him. Today is the 11th. When was Mother's Day? Was it a month ago today? Yeah, May 11th. So we've had Finn now. Hey, Jojo. We've had Finn for a month. Alexander, you are a little bit out of topic, but it is okay for people who left abusing cult. I don't welcome in. I don't know you, and I've never seen you before. I don't know what you mean by I'm out of topic. I know, Wendy, it's a lot. Hey, Lemster, shout out to Reese for always adjusting things for me when I complained about flashing with my seizure disorder. You're very welcome. I took that very seriously. I don't want anybody to be uncomfortable. So anyway, I need to take him back to the vet for a follow-up visit. I'm probably going to do that in 2 weeks. Yeah, no topic zone, Brian Boland. Correct. I wanted to give it like a full 6 weeks before I took him back to the vet to see if he gained any weight. Okay. Hey, bud. No. Thank you. To see if he has gained any weight. Hey, Lady O. It's pony hair. Yeah. Hey, Rachel. I don't know the answer to that, Honey Lou. I don't know the answer to that. Finny? Linda Van Pelt, really happy to see you. Wow. Hey, Carolyn Cotter. I know Kim is blue. It's a serious thing. That's why that chair is covered with his bed from Abigail. Wow, you're so incredibly little. We forgot that you were even there. That's what it means. You're just a frosted mini wheat. Did you know this? Oh, I love the smell of your pawpaws. It smells like wood chips and honey. Your pawpaws smell like a hamster cage in a really good way, in a really positive light. Do you know what I'm saying, though? Did you know that you were this tiny? Did you have any idea that you were going to be this judgmental of others? Hey, Chrissy Twig. Yeah, Brian, we're getting him one. Kelly. Hey, Reese, happy to join an actual live. Lots going on with my dad right now. Keep missing most lives. Kelly. Babe, thank you for your super chat and for telling us that. It sounds like it's not a good thing that things are going on with him. So I'm really sorry. We don't need to know the details, but let's just send Kelly some Care Bear vibes. Positive, right? Healing, whatever that may be, whatever she needs. Thank you, babe. And thank you for your super chat. Thanks for sharing. Hamster cage toes. Hey, Professor Kakan. Antics of a pony hair. That is much more important. And I'm glad you took the time to do it. Thank you so much, Antics of a Pony Hair. Hey, Georgia. Hey, Linda Perales again. Lee Sane, I'm glad that you did. So, sorry, Marissa Martin. I did miss it. Sometimes the chat goes kind of quickly. And it's hard sometimes when you're just staring into the gorgeousness. Did you know that you were this perfect? Vinny. Hey, baby lily pad. Good to see you, babe. Kay Thompsons. I am proud of you. Hey, Haggis. Haggis flaps. I like that. You should change it to Haggis flaps. That's more meaningful, I think. Don't you think? Look at how greasy my hair is. Should have washed it today. Didn't have that kind of time. Hey, Mary Barons. Love you too. Good to see you, babe. You've only been waiting a year and a half. It was well worth the wait, though. He talked, Wendy. Kissed by the Lord, touched by the Lord, kissed by Christ, little JC, blee, blee, blee. She does not give a shit. It's Harriet. Yeah, Kim is blue. Thank you for correcting that. Yeah, he does, Topsy. I think he does. So, guys, what's going on? I'm going to tell you what's going on my end of things. I had to go to the DMV yesterday, and I was there for 6 hours, and it completely drained my life. My life flashed a little bit before my eyes, and then I started to give up on life. He's doing great, Brian. Thanks for asking. Marissa Martin. It drained me, and I thought, this will never happen again. It's not worth it. I'll just break the law. Like, I don't have a problem just paying tickets. I'll just pay the ticket. We all know that I'm a billionaire. Like, what's the problem, right? Yeah, it was absolutely god awful. And I don't usually ask for prayers, but prayers for me, please. Baby doll, you cannot make appointments. Not in Tennessee. They don't have any laws here. I know, Haggis, it's a lot. We're asleep already, aren't we? We're just sleeping. Oh my God, look at this. It's unbelievable is what it is. Oh my God, you're so kissy. See, this is why I don't bring her in anymore, because it gets really weird really fast on camera. See how I'm squeezing the ham thigh? You squeeze the ham thigh and then things just get weird. And Mom gets really obsessed And it's just uncomfortable as all get out. Not for me, of course, but for everybody else and you. I just get really weird about it. I see you like I've never seen you before. It's like it's the first time. Um, yeah, it was Brian, it was serious. Hey, Tennessee treasure finder. At least it wasn't today. Today is walk-in Wednesday. Yes, you can make appointments. Not at the one I went to because I asked. Um, unless they were just lying to me. But it was an absolute nightmare. And I just want to say that thoughts and prayers, right, for everybody who needs it. Okay. Because it was serious. Hey, Stella. Wow. That's amazing, Stella. I love how you just fly all over the place. Stella's absolutely gorgeous. Reese, watching and listening to you go through your healing journey has given me hope for myself. Love you, girl. Kathy Ann, that is such a nice thing to say. And honestly, sometimes I think we all need to hear that. It is a healing journey, and there are bumps in the road, are there not? Such as having to go to the DMV for 6 hours. Neither here nor there, but it really did make me question my life choices. And it just made me not want to, I couldn't do anything. Hey, Michelle Lynn. Hey, Noelle. I was starving when I got home. I'm not good at this, and it's weird because I'm a mother, but hey, Amy Edge. Hey, Heather Landau. I don't pack snacks. I have no idea, Tennessee treasure finder. I don't pack snacks, and I really should do that. The reason I don't do that is because I hardly eat. I don't know why I'm this chubby. Like, for instance, it's 5 o'clock right now. I haven't had anything to eat yet today, and I'm not even thinking about it. It's the drug I'm on, it's my diabetes drug, but it keeps me from eating, and I eat when I get hungry. So, first of all, I didn't expect to be there for 6 hours, but I don't like, hey, bud, quit testing the waters, the anthropology waters. Yeah, Chrissy Twig, it sucked. So I didn't think about food, and I didn't think I would be there for 6 hours, or I might have packed something. But by the time, no, it's like Ozempic. It's a GLP-1. I'm on Ribelsis. Um, no, it's not Monjarno. It's called Ribelsis. Hey, Wisconsin Barb. So by the time I got home, I was so drained. I couldn't do a show last night. Like, I got here and I microwaved myself a bag of frozen broccoli, and I just sat there in my sorrows and thought about, okay. Hey, bud. No, that's a no. Quit trying to get attention. You can come up here for it, Finny. Okay, Wendy. Hey, Copper Top. I have not had any side effects with my drug because I've been on this drug for like 4 years, probably now, maybe 3. In the beginning, yes, a little bit. It was weird. I had a weird side effect to this drug. I had chest pains, like bad. Um, I think it lasted like a month, and I was like, it was right in here, and I just felt like, I don't know, it was very weird, Yadira. I know, Marissa Martin. I'm going to have to move the chair out of here. So yeah, I just couldn't do anything else. I ate a bag of broccoli and I couldn't focus on anything about anything. And I was like, I'm just going to go to bed now. I can't accomplish anything in my life. I need to have peanut butter crackers on me, Tiffany B. I should. There's no reason I should. I carry a purse, right? Like, there's no reason I shouldn't have a snack. It's ridiculous. And I wish I had. So I will say this, though. I wish you could stream at the DMV, because the people watching was absolutely unbelievable. The only thing it's almost a blur. 6 hours. Thanks, old Charlie. 6 hours, almost like I don't remember anything. I know Kim is blue. We're working on it. The only thing that I kind of wanted to get a job there. I was like, I want to work here. Thank you, Kathy Ann. Some dude came out, and it was the funniest thing. I was sitting there for like 3.5 hours. Yes, sorry about that. He does. Finny, why don't you come up here and join us? Don't do it, man. You can stream it to public place inside the DMV. I'm not so sure about that. I highly doubt that's true. Hey, Rain, I missed you the last stream. This dude comes out. It was so funny. And he was like, oh. Really extra tiny too, like really extra tiny. Did you know it? Hey Joe, this dude comes out and yeah, 6 hours, Heather Landau. I wanted to scream. He comes out, one of the dudes that worked there, and he was like, "Attention, y'all, attention." He was like, heads up, everybody. And it was the funniest thing. He goes, I was like, losers, who does this? He goes, whoever drives a silver Lexus. He's like, anybody in the crowd, because it was probably 50 people there waiting. It sucked. And you know how much I don't love being around like tight spaces with people. Like, it's just like the Costco, everyone's sampling at Costco. Everybody there was like, like no one covers their mouth. Hey, Miss Sassa. Hey, Rhonda McNeil. I'm not kidding. Why is it that people do that in public? We went through COVID, guys, and it wasn't a small feat, right? Like that took years. Every time I'm at Costco or the DMV, those are the only two places I live. Leticia, welcome. Why do people go like, why do they do that? Why can't you like, that's what I do. Sometimes if I have a jacket on, I'll even like, nobody wants your snot flakes flying all over the place. Yes, Leticia, I'm happy to see you, babe. That's amazing, Lisa Kelson. That's reason enough to move to Utah. Okay. And also, I'm on your family account anyway. I might as well. Like, would you even notice if I moved in? Yeah, it's so gross to me. And do you guys do like when that happens? I have a question for you. Like when somebody cuts you off or is a bad driver, of course, every time, hey, Drayston, you're driving and you got to get up next to him, right? Like you have to get up next to him at least, right? So you drive up next to him and you go like this. And you kind of slowly turn. I'm not the only one that does that, right? Like everybody does that. When somebody's a dick in traffic, you have to go up and be like, but you slowly look away. You got to do it fast and then you slowly look away. But you have to oddly enough, this is kind of the same face I make when I can't poop. I know this because I have a mirror next to my toilet. Sometimes I look into it. Chrissy Kitty, welcome, girl. Aileen, I'm glad you're here. Yeah, Angie Mo, I had to, and it's not, you can't do it online if you have to do the real ID. Topsy, that works too. Martha Slimmer, I haven't seen you in forever, babe. I hope you're doing good. Thank you for being a member, Martha. Inner Sparkle Monkey, I can't remember if I said hi to you. I try not to lift my brows too much, Brian Boland. That's a secret trick for women. I worked for a beautiful ophthalmologist, and whenever she was upset or angry, I was her number one technician. She only wanted me to do it. Was very much like the Devil Wears Prada. Like she didn't want to work with anybody else except me. So we had like 9 technicians, but she only wanted me to do everything, which was really annoying. But whenever someone else would have to do something or have access to her, like she only wanted me in her office. Like it was weird. She wanted me to correct people. Like she didn't want to have to do it. It was really weird. I felt cool at the time, but looking back, I was like, I was used, right? I should have made more money. But anyway, here's the thing, Brian Boland, when she told me this, she was gorgeous, Asian woman, perfect, tiny little thing. Every morning she came in, looked like she stepped out of a magazine. So fashion head to toe, like gorgeous, right? Whenever she'd be upset. Now she did inject herself with Botox, so that probably added, more of a meaning to it. Hey, Karen Tootie Greeny. Whenever she was disappointed in me or a technician, I'd hand her something, like I'd hand her a patient chart, and she'd open it up and she'd see and she'd go. And finally, one day, I was like, can I ask you something? I feel like we're close enough. You've ripped me a new asshole. I feel like I can say something to you. And she was like, go ahead, Reese. I said, how come you never lift your eyebrows? I've never seen your eyebrows move. Like, are they stuck because of the Botox? Like you can't get them to lift? Like you have no eyebrow? Like it's like the Botox are like weights and you just can't lift them? Like, how come I've never seen your eyebrows move? I've only seen your whole face move down here, but I've never seen any emotion at all. Like, I've never seen you show emotion. I was like, I don't know if I'm overstepping, but like, I've heard you talk about your children and I've never seen you show emotion. One time you told me Merry Christmas and I didn't see any emotion. And I just wondered if you'd like to be a Scientologist. Here's my business card. So that's all. But then she explained it to me and she said, why do you think I look this good? And I was like, I don't know, but your confidence is through the roof as well. And I just want to say, I'm sure your vagina is top notch as well, because the rest of you is doesn't even move. Like, it's probably incredible down there. And I'm not even interested in seeing it, but I'm guessing it's nice, right? And she said, I look this way, Reese. I was like a bitch. Okay, go on. She was like, I look this way because I don't lift my eyebrows. And I was like, you don't hold on. I was like, let me take notes. I was like, you don't lift your eyebrows? Tell me more about this. Like, your whole life, did this just start? Like, you've never lifted your eyebrows? They've never moved? Like, as a small child? Like, what happened? Okay, I will. I'm 60. Brian Bolin, you don't look 60. Wow. That's almost my age range, brother. I'm not horrid and I make that face daily. Well, you're a man too. And sadly, men age better and they become hotter, and women just look like a shriveled up ball sack sometimes. And that's unfortunate. And our eyelids become that too. Did you know this, Brian Bolin? Eventually, it's just like putting eyeshadow on a ball sack. Did you know this? Like, I'm 40 and it's already starting to happen. I watch myself put my eyeshadow on and I feel like I'm taking a guy's ball sack and I'm like trying to stretch it out and draw a color onto it. And I'm like, this is concerning in a lot of ways. Like, can we inject my eyelids? I don't know. Hey, true to it. So anyway, I was like, tell me more. Like, tell me more. Yeah, Kathy Ann. I was like, so you're just disappointed in everybody all the time and you're angry and you show no emotion? That's your secret to how you look? She was like, pretty much. So I was like, okay, pretty much. Like, it was all just lower face half. It was just here down is the only thing that was allowed to move. And even then, I feel like that's why she had me do everything for her. Yes, Heather, I do. That's why she had me do everything for her, because she didn't want to have, she was like, you know who she reminded me of? Hey, excuse me. Thank you. Hey, I don't want to hear about that either. You know, oh, Squeaky. Squeaks. Vinny. He knows his name. He's pissed. Finny? Phineas. Finny Bun Buns? Finny? God, it gets weird, doesn't it? I feel like I have to get so weird with my animals to get them to talk. I'm like, Finny Bun Buns. Like, I have to get all silly. Okay, it is crazy, but here's Finny. Okay, now you're just getting weird and it's getting uncomfortable for everyone. Okay, so what did I say? She reminded me of the mob boss. Stay with me now. Sure, she was terrifying. Tiny little Asian thing, but terrifying. Finny Bun Buns? He sounds like a little kitten. Finny Bun Buns. Oh, shit. That's enough. Now you're being rude. No one wants to put up with that. The foreskin of the eyelids. That's what it is, Angie Moe and Rain. Finny Bun Buns? It's a lot of attitude. So she reminded me of the mob boss in the beginning of Goodfellas. Do you guys remember when they talked about Paulie, when Henry Hill talked about Paulie? And he said something like, Paulie only talked to 4 people. He was like, and Paulie he didn't use the phone. He was like, Paulie didn't talk to anybody. He was like, and it was because Paulie didn't have to, right? That was this doctor I work for. Hey, Andrew, what are you doing? How's your new dog? Hey, Rocks in a Box. Eyelids sag and flaps shrink. Okay, true to it. Thanks for bringing me down to a level of depression it's a new level we just unlocked, and I appreciate that. So I will be now looking at the foreskin of my eyelids and the non-existence of my ham flaps. Probably so, Kissy Kitty. So she didn't have to talk to anybody. She didn't want to talk to anybody. I was her go-to. Hey, Tracy. And that could be a good thing and a bad thing. But now that I look back, the reason the woman looked so young, and I think, hey, Lisa F., I think we need to make notes on this. You just have to be pissed all the time, but at the same time, show no emotion, right? Hey, Kiki. Yeah, Peggy, it does. You know, it does suck to get older and your body falls apart, but all right, Finn, I'm about to toss you out the window. Finny Bun Buns. Yeah, this is a problem. Men get cuter. I mean, that could just be me because I'm attracted to 500-year-olds, but I think men get way more attractive, right? It's a bummer. But anyway, ladies, if we want to look young, well, she injected her forehead all day long with Botox. That's what she would do on her lunch hour. She didn't even eat. She was just like, all she ever did was put Botox in her head and brush her teeth all day. It was weird. She just injected herself all the time with Botox. And if she wasn't doing that, she was at the sink brushing her teeth. And I was like, what? I don't know what to do. Grifter alert. I just paid off my student loans debt free. That is an amazing feeling that I will never know because I was never a student with a loan. But Michelle Lynn, I couldn't be happier for you. Benny? Joe wants to dye his beard? Absolutely not. He's not allowed in here if he does it. Just tell him that. We just have to threaten him. Charisse Forno, I mentioned you earlier. Happy birthday to you. She's 41 today. I'm going to be 41 in less than 3 weeks, girl. I'll be right there with you. We'll do it together, Charisse. Happy birthday. I told you on Facebook. Joe, what are you wanting to dye it to? Because it doesn't matter. You can't be here if you're going to dye it. We love your hair color on your face just the way it is. Okay. Vicki Andrews, hey babe, do you guys remember when Tommy dyed his beard? And I was like, I can't date you anymore if this is how it's going to be. Like, I can't. Just, it's a no. Hey, Marty Jewel, found Laura Mercier setting spray for face at TJ Maxx. I bought it too, Marty. I'm not loving it. It makes me kind of shiny, which is odd because setting spray is supposed to be the opposite, right? But I'm glad it works for you. Finny Bun Bun? Oh, no, Joe. Keep it that way. It's sexy. Joe, hey, Muffet Lou, back to black. I'm all gray and brown. Gross. So Tommy grew, I don't know why we're bringing up Tommy other than that's the only point of reference I have. Tommy grew, I wouldn't let him dye it anymore. And he stopped and it grew out grayish and brown. Yes, Rain. And it was so sexy. It looked so good on him. Like he looked like such a crim with the dark. Joe, no. Look, Brian Bolin says, Joe, stay natural. Look at Brian Bolin. He's adorable. He's natural. Come on, Joe. Do the right thing. Okay. It's a Wednesday. Let's just get it done. It's about to be summer. So ladies, I think I want to button this up, this story, and I'm not sure why we're telling it, to be honest. Hey, oh, Susie Q. If you want to look younger, just don't show any emotion and always be angry. Hey, Taz the Bulldog, like constantly. It was so weird. Yes, Sarah, I have on color number 93 today, and it's been my favorite the last few days. Galen, hey, babe. I hope you're doing okay. I've been thinking about you the last few days. Galen, I hope you're all right, girl. No emotion and just be pissed all the time. And so anytime she was pissed, it was, let's just redo it because I want everyone to really understand. Do not lift the eyebrows. I mean, I could do this because I was a Scientologist, but just nothing and just dead behind the eyes. So just shark eyes. Okay. If you want to look younger, just dead behind the eyes. I do too, Martha Slemmer. I don't see what's wrong with aging. I can't wait for my hair to turn gray. I think gray hair is beautiful on women. I made my mom do it. Okay, but dead behind the eyes. All right. Thank you. True to it. This isn't a heart necklace. This tank top has a little heart sewn in, embroidered, and this is just a red necklace. Funnily enough, it kind of looks, but yeah, no. So just dead behind the eyes, everybody. Stay dead behind the eyes. God, I feel like I just gave you like a sign off line. Like, stay classy, San Diego. Stay dead behind the eyes, everybody. And just all down here, we just show our emotion. And whenever she was angry, she'd go. And you knew it. I mean, it's not like I was confused. I was a little confused. Do you ever like mimic what someone else is doing? So that's what I would do. The first few times I had to get it down working with her, and she'd be like, and I would do it back. And I'd be like, is that like a Midwest smile, but you're not like, but you're mad? So I would like try to do it back, like smiling. But then I realized she was mad. She was like, but you just don't, nothing up here. And it seemed to have worked for her. It absolutely seemed to have worked. And so I'm just passing on that beauty advice. I think maybe we should all take it to heart. What am I going to do about this? He wants out of here. I would say I would let him outside because he'd probably stick around the house just like the other cats, but he could pass on feline leukemia to them. So I'm not really sure what to do about this problem, Kestrel. See, gals, I think gray hair, true to it. I think gray hair, I mean, on men, it's sexy, of course, but I think it's beautiful. Lisa Kelson. I didn't finish my DMV story. Oh, man. Linda. Hey, babe. I didn't finish my DMV story. This is amazing, and I want to get a job at the DMV. This is my kind of humor, and it may not be for you guys. It may not be for you guys. So I'm sitting there like my 4th hour in, and oh, here's the other thing that sucked. There was no service in that DMV. So I went outside, still didn't get any service. I don't, kissy kitty. I went outside, I still couldn't get service. So I was at the DMV yesterday for 6 hours and I couldn't even use my phone. So I was just trying to imagine what it's like. Hey, Anita. I was trying to imagine what it's like to be a calm person. So I was just sitting there and I was trying to like just imagine peacefulness with all the people around me going, right? Because it's hard to do that when that's going on. Eventually I found my pace. So I opened my eyes and some guy at the DMV is like, hey, y'all, listen up. He's like, got an announcement to make. And I was like, you're going to call my number? Hey, Pat Jonas, this dude, it was so hilarious. And you know, he was being dark. He was being a dick. And I loved I should have asked if he was single. He goes, anybody who has the silver Lexus, he was like, whoever drives the silver Lexus. Oh my God. He goes, whoever drove it through the do not enter sign and drove through that and parked in the no parking zone that's clearly also labeled. He goes, so you drove through a do not enter sign and then you parked in a no parking zone. He was like, I just want you all to know the sheriff's going to be here any minute. He goes, and he gets mighty pissed and he goes, you'll get 2 tickets. Hey, Chrissy Lynn. He goes, you'll get 2 tickets for that. He was like, one's 250 and the other one's 250. Finn, I don't know what to do about this. He doesn't want to be in this room anymore, and I can't let him out. Hey, dude. He is yelling. Kim is blue. Hey, little mink. It was the funniest thing I'd ever heard. He was so dry on that humor. I mean, it wasn't Finny Bun Buns. Oh, Finny Bun Buns. Oh, Finny Bun Buns. I don't know what to do with you. I can't let you out while I'm not supervising you. So you have to stay in here. And you also don't understand anything I'm saying. Hey, Gracie. He does, Jojo, and I'm not sure. He has Scientology up north. He seems to be doing quite well. He's got all the energy in the world now, and I don't know what to do about that. Maybe I should get him some toys. I wonder if I should get him some toys. Hey, Lenora Gray. I'm just trying to think out loud. I have some catnip and I have a little scratching thing that I use for the other cats. I could have Huxley bring it in. Hey, Lori Lee. Lenora Gray, I don't blame you. It's beautiful. But is that the funniest thing? I was like, are you guys hiring? I would love to work there and be the person that makes those announcements. The lady had to have been so embarrassed. She got up and ran out. It was everybody laughed. She drove through a do not enter sign and then she parked in a no parking zone. And it was a lady. I was kind of surprised. You can get him an outside pen and sit outside with him. I guess I could. It would have to be very tall because he can jump over a lot of things. He needs more activities. I don't know if I could do that, Jojo. Yeah, it was funny, Shell. It was fantastic. It was pure gold. I was like, I want to be the person who makes those announcements. Like he would, I don't think I could have done it better. It was just spot on. How entitled can you be? I Topsy, I know, but it was fantastic. He was like, the person who drove through the do not enter sign and parked in the no parking zone. I was like, oh, burn. That is so embarrassing. Yeah, Brian Bowen, she had to run out. And I was like, that's really embarrassing, lady. Who does that? And who thinks they're just going to get away with that? It's just weird. I think it's so weird when people do stuff like that. I don't really, I gotta be honest, you guys. I don't have a lot of a topic today. Missed you, Shay B. I don't, Katie Fulton. I don't have a lot of a topic. There have been some things going on behind the scenes that I can't talk about. I will say I've been speaking to some therapists lately for something I'm working on, and not for me to see, but speaking to therapists about certain things. No, Shell, we don't. And I will say this. I talked to a specific therapist today. He's a psychologist, and I really liked him, and he gave me a lot of time. I had some questions for him. I'm doing some research on something. And I thought it was really interesting. He started out by telling me, and again, this is kind of just has nothing to do with anything, but I thought I'm going to share that with my audience. That's true. Thank you, Linda. We don't have a topic ever, so it doesn't matter anyway. But it is true, though. Did I catch Aaron's last video? No, I don't watch Aaron. It is true, though. Usually I start a stream with something in mind. So I may not, thank you, Kestrel. I may not have a topic, but usually I have something that I'm like kind of segue into, and I really don't today. My mind is all over the place and I can't share everything I'm working on. Okay, true to it. But this therapist said it's really important to pay attention to people's body language. And it's funny that he brought that up to me. I wondered if you guys do that. Do you guys pay attention to body language? I do more than ever. I do more than I ever did before. And I just have to say that my eyes have opened so much coming out of Scientology. I've learned more out here in like you guys is what I'm trying to say. You guys have taught me more. Where is Michael Malloy? You know who else we haven't seen, old Charlie, is Moon Taxi. Where is Moon Taxi? We haven't seen him. You guys have taught me more out in the real world than all the books, all the lectures, all the drilling. It's so much easier to learn out here in the real world than Scientology. I've never really paid attention to body language, and I think it's very interesting, body language. So he said that, but he also said, I'm going to plug this in. Yeah. He also said, we were talking about, hey, Gogo the Greek. We were talking about medicating. And I said to this guy, It was weird. I said to him, "I don't believe in medication, really, like, for me." I'm not saying it doesn't work for other people, but I said, "I came from Scientology," and I said, "I don't even know if you know what that is." He said, "Oh, I'm very familiar with Scientology." I said, "Really?" And he said, "Yeah, I actually did a couple courses, like, way back years and years ago." And I was like, "That is crazy." I have not met a therapist yet that really even knows what Scientology is. That was shocking. But he said as far as medication, I really liked this. He said, "Of course, medication is necessary for some people." But he said something that people don't realize, and he said, "From my end of things," he said, "You have to identify what's going on, and that could be situational." And I said, "What do you mean?" Um, I just don't watch anybody. I don't watch content creators, Linda. I don't keep up with the current drama, nor do I want to. I have no interest in what's going on. I don't care. I care so much less about people these days. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean I'm not putting all my attention, effort, and energy into what other people are doing. I'm way too busy. Hey, Christy Kits, focusing on building what I want for my future, worrying about Huxley. I really want to move at some point. I've been researching other locations. It's not important for me to focus on other people's lives. It's just not. I could not give a shit less when somebody reaches out to me and goes, "Did you hear that these two are fighting? Did you hear about this?" And I mean, whether it's on YouTube or in the real world, I'm like, "Did you know that I don't care?" I mean, it's not to be rude. Hey, Tony's cute, huh? It's not important to me. What's important to me is what I put importance on. And I don't put importance on other people's dramatic behavior, behavior they don't want to fix, behavior that they are pointing the finger on, banding together and hating someone. Like, that's all that's going on is bad behavior, bad behavior, bad behavior. But we don't want to fix it. We're going to point the finger. And I'm not talking about YouTube. I'm just talking about in the world. Hey, Trisha Kelly, I don't care enough to put energy or effort into that. It affects me in no way, shape, or form. Does that make sense? Like, it's a really freeing feeling. I wish everybody could feel that. Even if I really care about someone and like something's going on, I will help as much as I can, but like I can't take on other people's problems. I can't make your problems my problems and fix them for you. If that makes sense. Like I don't what is this? Was that? Yes. Okay, good. I hope that doesn't come off as insensitive because I don't mean it to be insensitive. The drama has gotten a lot better on a few channels. The drama has gotten a lot better. That's great, Lisa Kelson. Brian Bullen cares too much. I don't. I have way too much about me that I want to work on and fix within myself. If that resonates with some of you, like I really want to work on me. There are so many things about me that I don't like that I'm trying as fast as I can and as hard as I can to work on. And when I hear like some random ass person that I either never talked to or I talked to twice or I talked to 10 times, right? I'm like, that's great. Whether it be good news or bad news, I'm like, I don't know. I just don't feel it. I don't feel anything toward that. It means nothing to me, right? Yeah, Vicki Andrews. Um, that was about it, Kim is Blue. Let me think about it for a minute. Oh, it was just the situational thing. When it comes to medicating, yeah, it's a boundary. You're right, Lemster. That's a good way of looking at it. It's not trivial, people. I care about my relationships. Brian Bullen, I love that. And guys, there's no right or wrong. That's the beauty too, is I think society teaches us like you should do this, you should look this way, you should behave that way, you should react to things this way. And I'm finding that to be totally false. It's a free for all out here. We can do whatever we want. And that's new for me. I have a voice. I can react any single way I want to. I felt that very strongly in the last couple of weeks when I've gone out in public. I don't feel so people pleasy. I don't like feel like I have to fill silence and chat with people if I don't want to. I've become a lot more closed up too. I talk a lot and sometimes I'm not like I used to be. Sometimes I'm kind of like I don't feel like chatting. and I don't have to. And that doesn't make me rude. Like, I just am not like, I only want to do things when I feel like it's right, whether it even be something really small like that. So the therapist said meds are okay if needed, Kim. He said people over medicate. And he said, here's the thing that I feel about medication is he said it's a lot of things you have to look at what we're medicating. And I said, I like this. Go on. And he said, a lot of things are situational. If you think about it, hey, Jessamine, a lot of things are situational. And he said something like, it's like if you have a headache and you take an Advil for it and you keep taking Advil for it. He was like, you're not figuring out the problem. You're just bandaging the issue. He was like, so we need to get to the bottom of those headaches. Right. And I said, yeah, that totally makes sense. And the reason this is important to me is because I was told since the day I can remember learning English. Okay. So like my earliest memory of this would probably be 4 or 5, that therapists, psychologists, mental, anything, psych stuff is evil. That's all you need to know, Reese. It's evil. And they will electroshock you and they'll throw you in a room in a straitjacket and you'll never have a choice, right? So it's really important. This is where I can't stress this enough to you guys, but you're not going to probably feel what I'm feeling here. I got to hear that today from his mouth to my ears, a licensed psychologist whom I was told is the devil, evil, will drug you. Hey, Cheryl Roberts will drug you, will always drug you, will shock you, will do testing on you, will do things against your will, right? I was told that my whole life. I got to hear the truth today from someone. I see a therapist. It's not like this is shockingly new, but this was a little different for me today. And it was so validating to hear a doctor go, yeah, it's better to work through therapy first and like talk and really establish rapport with your doctor. Hey, Kathy Burkhart. Yeah, Rain. And he goes, now listen, I totally believe in prescribed medication. I get it. But well, then he's a psychiatrist because he said he prescribes. He said, I get it. And some people actually need it. But he was like, a lot of people don't. And they rush for that. And he said, the other thing that bothers me is going to get it from a regular doctor, your general practitioner. And I said, yes. And I said, because I said, I worked for ophthalmologists. That would, to me, like we were trained hardcore by our ophthalmologist. Don't ever go to an emergency room or a regular doctor if you have like a corneal abrasion, right? Because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to treat it. They don't have the equipment to take a look at it. And he said, yes, exactly like that. And he said, so it's really important if you are going to medicate someone to be thoroughly, right? Like he was like, there's testing that we do and things like that to establish what you need. And he said, regular doctors prescribe high blood pressure meds, cholesterol meds, diabetes medication. He was like, we don't. We only prescribe what's needed for that specific issue. It's a specialist. He goes, if you have a torn ACL, you're not going to go to a regular doctor about that. And I said, that's totally fair. I agree with that 100%. Hey, I'm never alone. Welcome in. So what was I just going to say about him? I can't remember, but it was very impressive I've been doing some interviews on different therapists. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I said to him, I said, well, I have a YouTube channel. And I said, I'm shocked that you know what Scientology is. He said, oh, I know what it is. And I said, okay, well, I said, I have a YouTube channel where I talk about Scientology. I said, not all the time, but a lot of the time I talk about my experiences, things like that. And I said something that I tell my people a lot on my channel, because I said I'm a big believer in therapy, huge. Like my channel and therapy have gotten me to where I am mentally, emotionally. And I said, I always tell people, to me, as an outsider now looking in, therapy is like, you cannot lean into your mom, your dad, your husband, your wife, your kids. I don't care who it is, your best friend since you were in third grade together. There you go, Kestrel. You cannot lean on people who don't have the proper tools. And I said, so on my channel, I tell people, to me, therapy, I always work in concepts. So if you just sit here, you're good. Therapy is like having a specialist with a toolbox. And they may say, well, that's because you've been working with a wrench your whole life on that problem. You actually needed a hammer. And he goes, that's what I say all the time. I said, you do? And he said, yes. He said, I tell my patients all the time. He said, what did he say? He said, I tell them, if you're going to come over and fix my doorknob, but all you have to fix it is a sledgehammer, he was like, I don't know how you're going to fix that. He goes, but if you come over with the right screwdrivers and the screws, he said, then you're going to be able to fix it. He said, that's what therapy is. And I said, that's crazy that you say that, because I say something similar to that. And so he said, yeah, he said, that's all it is. And I said, yes. So it's just a matter of people bleeding on people who didn't cut them, right? Like, I'm not equipped to deal with heavy mental health issues. I'm the last person you're going to want to lean into on that, because I came from Scientology. And so if someone comes to me and says all these things, I'm going to be like, I don't know. I don't even know how to really help with that. I don't know the therapy words. Like, you know, I would try, but I don't know how well you'd want me in your corner for something like that. But it's also fair to say you need to get a professional. And I know that's easier said than done, because therapy is incredibly expensive. It is not easily accessible, in my opinion. It's very expensive. Oh, yeah. Gene Strong says, I think all that auditing helped you to be able to speak frankly with therapists. Yes. And on YouTube, even though Scientology is a nightmare, that was a little thing you got that isn't awful. Well, yes, Gene. Reese would be a great life coach, though. Thank you, Gene. There's a lot of things that I'm very grateful for that I got from Scientology. Let's be clear about that. Like, I definitely feel 100% in my heart that I learned how to communicate well. Like, I feel like I can talk to anyone about anything. Do you guys ever notice that? I think it's cute when some of you come in here and you're like, hey, Reese, don't answer if it's too private, or don't feel like you have to answer this if it's too personal. There's no such thing as TMI here. There's just not. Like, I don't have a problem, because I don't have any boundaries from Scientology. I don't have a problem talking about anything and everything. And I think we should. I think we should normalize talking about things that people are like, ooh, don't talk about that. No, I think we should talk about that. That's how I feel about it. You may disagree with me, but I absolutely think there's so much shame. Do you ever notice that? There's so much shame attached to things that quite honestly isn't your place to shame somebody. Shame is subjective too, is it not? I'm not ashamed. Thank you, Lemster. That's such a kind thing to say. I'm not ashamed to talk about sex. I'm not ashamed to talk about my vagina. I'm not ashamed to talk about my pap smear. I can look at you with a straight face and talk about those things. I am not ashamed. And I thank Scientology for that. There was no, you guys know this, there was no, well, I don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about something else, like most people in the world do out here. Like, I'm not comfortable talking about that. Now, I respect those boundaries. If someone said that to me, I would absolutely back the F off. I believe in boundaries, and I believe in not overstepping them. But just for me on my channel, I don't. Love you, Joe Virus. Yeah, Brian Boland. I don't. It's ridiculous the things people think shouldn't be spoken. I'll talk mostly about anything. Yeah. Yeah, Chris, Kissy Kitty. It's just whatever your boundaries are, and everybody should respect them. But here's the problem. Don't come over to me and say, I'm not comfortable with that. You shouldn't talk about that. That's where I have a problem. If you said, I'm not comfortable with that, please don't ask me, that's your absolutely, I would back off. But I don't like it when people tell me what I can and can't talk about over here on my channel. And I'm not doing it for shock value. I'm not trying to push boundaries, right? But I believe in very much normalizing things and talking about things. Do you know how many women have reached out to me since I've had this channel? So good point. Silencing people can be a form of control and fear. It puts people into a state of fear, right? Oh, we can't talk about that. Sure, we can. Of course, we can. Who says we can't? That's the biggest thing I love so much about being out of Scientology. I'm not getting into trouble. They're not coming to get me. I'm not going to get any more orders placed on me. I'm not going to get any reports written on me. I'm not going in for an ethics interview. Nothing. I have a voice and I can talk about whatever I want to talk about. And it's not to be shitty. I'm not like, F you, I'm going to say what I want. No, I'm for the first time in my life, I can talk about things I've always wanted to talk about, but I got in trouble for. Hey, Alana, I'm happy to see you, babe. There's a difference. I was highly controlled, right? Even with Jeff, I was thinking about that. Like it makes total sense why I have followed the patterns that I've followed in my life, because I've always been in kind of a state of control and a state of fear. And I think about all the times that Jeff was like, shut your mouth. Don't talk about that. We don't talk like that, right? And I have trouble shaking the fear of getting in trouble for just speaking freely. It's from a religious upbringing. I'm so sorry, Jean. You shouldn't, right? But that's what happens. Hey, Crime Me a River. I haven't seen you for a little bit. Hey, Lilac Lime. I'm so happy you are out, Reese. You have made such a big difference in so many people's lives, including mine. I love you, Lisa Kellison. Thank you for saying that. Hey, Angel K. So that's the point. Yeah, that's the point of the title of this. They don't speak for us. Nobody speaks for us. So if something makes you uncomfortable, if a topic makes you uncomfortable, that's something that you got to check yourself with, right? Like check in on yourself, identify your choice. We've talked about that lately. I'm not telling anybody to stick around when they're uncomfortable. You shouldn't do that. You should always check in with yourself and assess the situation, and then take a look at the choices that you have. Your choices are to leave and come back another time. And I'm not talking about just here, I'm talking about in life. Nobody should be made to feel uncomfortable. But in the same breath, people should be allowed to talk about what they want to discuss. And I think people shame a lot, like a lot. Yeah, Wendy, I notice it a lot. I just thought of something. Huxley, Renee B. I was telling this therapist this morning. I said, we don't really like it here. Like, eventually I want to move. And he said, okay, so how come? Like, what don't you like? And I said, I don't like, the people aren't as friendly as I thought they were going to be. I said, we're pretty isolated here. And I said, we came from, Lemster, we came from Kansas City. Hey, Michelle P., where it was like hopping, right? Hey, love it. Where it was hopping. It was a sprawling metropolis. Everything was at our fingertips, right? Like, you really take that for granted, by the way, when you move to a place like this. Now, there's a whole new list of benefits to moving to a place like this too. You get away from, hey, West Coast Fancy Nancy, you get away from the city. I go outside at night and in the morning, like I go out in my underwear at night to call the cats in, and I look up at the stars and it's pitch black here. There's no city lights. You hear cows mooing. It's beautiful. I can go outside anytime I want with no shirt on, like Huxley's in bed. I can do what I want. There's no neighbors, but in the same sentence, I love that, Wendy Ramirez. In the same sentence, I kind of miss the city. So I was telling him that. You do, Rain. And I have no idea where I was going with this. Damn it. Reel me back in, mods. Hold on, I'll find it. God, this is 40, isn't it? I'm going to be 41 in like 3 weeks, and I'm scared. I'm going to be in my mid 40s. That's what that means. Okay, I know where I was going with this. Thank you. Thank you, Linda. So I didn't tell you guys this, but Huxley's school, you guys know I really didn't like that school. There was no good communication in that school. Hey, Anita Card. Thanks, Anita. And there was a lot of racism. Okay. We're not used to that. We're not used to that. I'm not saying everybody here is racist, but I was telling this therapist asked me where he went to school because he lives here. And he said, oh, yeah. He said, yeah, you probably need to move to like an actual city. And I said, yeah, no, trust me, we're working on that. I said, but it was a shock to our system, right? Like the school itself was not great. Anyway, the point is, I'm talking about shame. Yeah, Meredith Keith. I'm talking about shame. So what happened? Huxley got, this was a couple months ago. I got a call from the principal that I really just never got along great with, right? The point to this story is listen to what people say and question them. And she hated this. This woman didn't like me asking her questions, but I don't care. I'm my biggest advocate of Huxley, right? Like I'm going to be his cheerleader. And I think I've always experienced this with schools. Sometimes I think schools expect the parent to be like, he did what? Oh, he's in big trouble. Thank you for calling. Bye. No. Look, they may be right, but I want to be able to ask my questions. Like you just gave me the rundown of what happened, but I know my kid, and I'm not trying to be one of those parents. It's like, he would never do that. I don't believe you. Like, no, he's a little shit, and I'm sure he did do it. But I still want to be able to question what the hell happened here. Like, I want to get the full details, right? I'm trying to think of what he even did. He had been late to somebody's class twice, like in that month, one of his teachers, right? And this principal can't stand me. And I'm not a big fan of her either. And she calls me and she goes, he's going to be in school suspension for 3 days. He was late to this class. And she was like, he's in trouble. She was really like laying it thick on me, like, yeah, Pat Jonas. And she said he passed the teacher that he had been late to already twice in this hallway. And she said, you better not be late to my class today. And he was late. And she was like, so he's got 3 days of in-school suspension. She was like, and hey, Jenny. And she just made it sound like he had done something. Oh, I know. She said he got written up for behavioral. That was how she started the call. Hey, D-Gill, does the accent make them more country? No, it's just this woman had a really thick accent, and I tend to mimic people exactly how they tell me. So I'm not making fun of her. It's her accent. That's how she spoke. So that's what it was. She called me, and the first thing she said was, he got a behavioral write-up. And I freaked out. Immediately, my red flags were going off because I was like, that's weird. Huxley's very respectful. Hey, Caitlin T., very respectful, especially of women. I have raised that kid to be that way. Every teacher he's ever had is like, he holds the door for me, like he carries my bag in. Like, so I was like, behavioral, what? I was like, what? Hey, Stacy Toms. Yeah, Dylan, it's just, I have a good memory and I repeat things as truthfully as I can. And I hear her voice in my head and it's hard for me to change it. Does that make sense? Like, I'm repeating it exactly how she did it to me. It's just easier for me to do it that way. So she says, he was late. Hey, Raymond. And he was late, and the teacher told him not to be late, and he was late again. So he got 3 days of suspension. And she was like, I'm just calling to let you know. She was trying to let me go as fast as possible because she doesn't like me to begin with. And I said, oh, okay. And she's trying to get off the phone. I said, okay, I just have a quick word before you hang up. I was like, I just have some questions. And she was like, go ahead. And I said, so is this in writing somewhere? Like, do you have like a rule handbook on this? Like, what's going on? Like, do you have it documented? Like, I want to know why. I said, why was he late? Like, is there not enough time in between class? Like, why this specific class? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, okay. I said, so tell me about how how it all went down. Like I was making her go through it again. I was taking notes. I was like, was this in the morning? Like, when is this class? That's probably the Scientologist in me, but at the same time, I want details. Don't just call me and be like, your kid got a behavioral write-up. He's got 3 days of this. Bye. Like, no, I want to know your policies. You guys, we didn't even get a parent-teacher conference. This is the first school I've ever been to that doesn't do them. Like, nah, this is a little backwoods for me, and I want to know answers. So she's getting pissed off, right? She's getting mad that I'm questioning her. And I said that to her. I said, I know that you get upset when I question you. This seems to happen. It's a repetitive thing here, but I need to know because I take notes on what's going on, and it's important to me. I said, I want to know so I can have a full conversation and have both sides of the story. I said, because I'm going to question the hell out of him as well. I assure you, I'm going to also get my questions answered with him, right? Remember, guys, George Carlin, question everything, question teachers, question authority, question parents. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. So anyway, she's very shaming. This is the point. I'm dragging the story out more than it needs to be drug out. She's very shaming. And she's like, he got in trouble. He got a behavioral write-up. So by the end of the conversation, I said, so tell me about this behavioral thing. What happened? What's the other part of the story? And she goes, that's it. And I said, well, hey, Sherry Taylor. I said, what was the behavioral part? Where was the bad behavior? Hey, teacher, nurse. And she said, what do you mean? And I said, a behavioral write-up to me indicates that he stepped out of line, like behaviorally. I said, tardiness is one thing. You're telling me he's doing in-school suspension because he was tardy. So that would be a tardy write-up. I said, but where's the behavioral part? You're saying it was a behavioral thing. Where is it? What happened with the behavioral part? I said, was he really rude to the teacher? And she said, oh no, he was very respectful. I said, huh. So you had him in your office, I'm assuming, right? And she goes, oh yeah, we just told him he's in trouble. And I said, okay, for being late. And she said, that's right. And I said, that's it? For being late? For being tardy. So I just want to be sure, because again, you're confusing me with this behavioral write-up shit. Yeah, it pissed me off. I was like, let's be clear. I just want to be clear about what. And so I finally, after that, I called and spoke to the administrator of the school, the above guy. I can't think of what the title is. He was super nice, but I just called him and I said, look, this has been a god-awful experience, man. And I said, I had all the dates, I had all the times, I had everything written down of all the things he had done in that school that year to get in trouble, superintendent. And he was impressed with all my notes. And I said, well, I've never dealt with a school like this. I was like, I don't know if it's because we came from the city, but like, I assume a school is a school. And I said, I'm going to stick up for my kid. At the same time, when he does bad things, he absolutely should get in trouble for that. And I'm not saying he shouldn't. I said, I want to get off on the right foot with you. I said, I'm not going to be a parent that's like, he didn't do that. I don't believe you. They're wrong. We're right. Like, no. If he did the crime, he needs to do the time. And I told the guy that. I said, if he did the crime, he's got to do the time, and he'll do the same thing in my home, right? I said, he steps out of line here, he's going to get in trouble here, just like he would at school. We have rules both here and at school. But I said, I need to see policies. Like, I need a handbook. I never got anything. Like, I want to know that we're not just willy-nillying this shit. And I said, and the other thing we're focused on here is the shame. There's a lot of shame that went into this. Like, he's in trouble and and I just was like, so do you see what I mean? He said, I'm shocked. He was very nice, but he was like, I'm shocked to hear these things. And I said, well, I'm not, fix it. You need to do better, man. I was like this. And do you guys remember he was shocked remember when I enrolled him into that school last year, this woman who had been a administrator there had been there for like 22 years. And I was giving her the paperwork. He got his school physical and I was giving her all the stuff and showing proof of address because we just moved here, right? She told me this school is known as the prison school. In that moment, she told me that. And she said, oh yeah, I did, Lisa. And I said, what? And she said, yeah, we have kids that like actually get arrested here all the time. We're very strict and it's the prison school. I'm like L. Ron Hubbard calls Earth, LRH calls this place the prison planet. I don't know if you guys knew that. This is known as the prison planet, the dumping planet, where they dump everybody. I did, Robin, and he was shocked. And I gave him the name of the woman that said it. And he said, I'm absolutely shocked. He was like, my kids went to that school. He said, I cannot believe that we have a person working there that's telling new parents of this school that this is a prison school. He was like, I can't believe it. And I said, believe it, brother, because that's what I was told. And it was a little spooky. And he apologized and he was like, it's the end of the year and he won't be going here anymore anyway. And I said, yeah, but you need to fix that shit because there's new kids coming in every year, right? Like, this is not the whole point of this story is, what do you mean, Brian? Oh, yeah. Was she wrong? No, felt very right to me. It felt very fitting, right? Um, bye, Raymond. Sorry, I got distracted. The shaming stuff. I've been noticing it a lot more lately. And I think the more we notice that stuff, the less we can take it personally. And I think that's gold. I think that's key. Do you guys notice it? Or is it just me because I'm new to the world and this environment? Like, there is so much of that, like judgment and shaming that goes on. I'm almost blown away. And maybe it's living more in the South, but I just kind of get this like you're not accepted feeling from a lot of people. That's why I love it here because this is such a beautifully thriving, warm community where we all accept each other. But I really hate the concept of you're different than me, so you stand out and you shouldn't be here. Like, yeah, it's just bully. It's bully-like behavior. And that's why I think it's super important that, look, I trust teachers and I always thank them for their service like a veteran because I couldn't do what teachers do. And I've had this conversation with Huxley ever since he started school. Every single year I do it. I go, imagine, Huxley, imagine that you have a class of 25 cats that you have to herd, teach. Dylan, I'm going to look into North Carolina. What would your ideal location to live? I'd love to live in Colorado, but I can't afford it. North Carolina, I really want to look at. So many people have told me North Carolina is where it's at. I love South Carolina, but it's really hot there. And apparently North Carolina is nice. I would consider moving to Florida, but it's too hot again. So yes. But I always tell this to Huxley. Imagine how hard it is to be trying to teach people things, and you've got 25 of them, and 4 of them are dicking around every time you turn your back. 4 of them are throwing shit, not paying attention. I was like, try getting people to focus at your age. Like, cut them some slack. Teachers are incredible. And usually when they say your kid's a little asshole, your kid's a little asshole. Like, I don't disagree with that. This woman just seemed to have it out for me, this principal. You have to take a test to live in Colorado. Why? I should look at Utah. I want to, are you really, Heather? I have heard so many good things, guys, about North Carolina. I talked to my dad yesterday and he said he would never move from here, but if he could, he said he would live near Raleigh, North Carolina. And I was like, what? I never knew that. Really, Linda Perales? What is West? Like California? Interesting. Dylan, I've only been to Colorado once and I would love to check out Colorado. It's just, everything is so expensive, but hey, Susan Cook, oh, really? I lived in Raleigh for 22 years every day, AFA. What did you think of it? Hey, Leslie Mosley, heated great things about Heard. Love it. Heard. Okay, I got you now. Great things about North Carolina. I live in Raleigh, the positive life. Oh, Kiki, I forgot that you're in Colorado. So is Jason P. and Dylan and Anita Card. Kiki, or not Kiki, positive life. I live in Raleigh. What do you think of it? Hey, Ty Mark. Thank you, Ty Mark. I'm freezing. I love Raleigh. I've heard, okay. So, my good friend is from North Carolina. And she said, Reese, you would love it there. Tell me if this is true. I don't know why I have to ask. It's not like she's lying. She said I would love it there because damn, hey, cold truth, because there's all 4 seasons, but it is really sorry, I got to adjust my bra. It is really mild. Like their winters are super mild. Yeah, Tampa A. Cold truth. Oh my God, you're so cute. I'm new here and have no idea what the subject is yet, but your energy and glowing beauty made me click on the live stream. My God. Thank you. And I hope that you stay. Welcome in. That is such a nice thing to say. We love getting new people. So welcome. That's an honor, honestly. Jean Strong. Imagine. Oh, really? I didn't know that, Meredith Keith. Jean Strong says, imagine a whole group of people all grow up together and they are all used to their own rules and the culture is set in stone. Then you come into town. Yes. Yeah, cold truth, welcome in. Yeah, I need a card. I couldn't move to Chicago, Colorado. It's way too expensive. Well, cold truth, I'm happy to hear that. I love getting new people. The other new person I thought of was Alabama Rose and Taz the Bulldog. We got a couple new people. Hey, Lindy. Hey, Ellie. I don't know if I said hi to you. Stacey Thomas, I've been to Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, and it was beautiful, but it's hurricane territory. Well, so like Raleigh, I think is more inland. And my dad said the beach is like an hour and a half away. I would like to move. Oh, that's what he said. It has beaches and mountains. He said North Carolina is beautiful and it's not as hot as South Carolina. Time Mark, we're just talking about it. Yeah, we just switched over a minute ago. We were talking about shame. Bumblebee, hi everybody, just passing by, so I will catch the replay tomorrow. This is for no reason, just because you're all the best folks. That is so nice, Bumblebee. Thank you. That is very kind of you, and I appreciate it always. Thank you. Good to see you, my friend. I have been to Asheville. Jeff proposed to me at the Biltmore. Do you guys remember that? Well, no, because I didn't have a channel then, but I've told the story. Asheville seemed cool. I didn't really get a lot of time to get around, but I will say their airport, I had the best breakfast burrito I'd ever had at that airport. I don't know why. It's incredibly memorable because I'm a cancer scion and food is important to me. So if you want to know about like food reviews, ask me because I know things that you may not. I know more than you when it comes to breakfast burritos. Yeah, North Carolina apparently Raleigh is halfway, one side beach, others. Hey, don't be scaring us. Finny. One side beach, other side mountains. Do you want mommy to hold you? Come here, baby. Oh my God, Harriet, you're too little. That's what I say. Did he growl at you? Love you. That's okay, Dee. Oh my God, you guys, look at it. Born right next to the Lord. Oh my God. Did you know that you've never made a mistake in your entire lifetime? Of course she knows that. She was born in a manger next to Christ. What do you guys think? I see me in a beachy town. And I also like, it's going to happen. It's going to have to happen soon. And when I say soon, I'm trying to save money. And I would say in the next year or so, and probably everyday AFA, he's over here growling at Gertie. I think I'm too isolated here. And I don't love Tennessee. It's beautiful. Hey, Ghost Rider. Happy birthday. I got a lot of birthdays today. I hate to say that Tennessee is beautiful, but I've not been Savannah. I love Savannah, but it's way too swampy. Kind of, Time Mark. I have not been anywhere yet in my life where I felt like home. And that's really, really a goal for me at this point. I want to travel as much as I can because I'd like to find a place that feels like home. I want to go to a town where I'm like, I want to live here. This is it. I want to live here. I haven't found that really yet. Hey, DNV. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's places I'd love to live that I'll never be able to afford. I've been to Sanibel Island. Like that was incredible. I think it was wiped out by a hurricane anyway. And I don't want to live too close to like where a hurricane would hit. I went to Charleston for our wedding anniversary or wedding honeymoon, and it was amazing. But again, it was really hot. And Vermont is probably nice, but incredibly expensive. Charleston's probably incredibly expensive. So anyway, I just want to go somewhere where I feel connected and it feels like home, if that makes sense. And this isn't it for me. And I hate to say that because my family is here, but it just doesn't feel like I don't connect here. And the people here, okay, Dee, the people here are not as friendly toward outsiders as I thought they would be. I thought for sure, like coming to the South, people were going to be so kind. They're not. They're not as friendly to outsiders. They're just not. Hey, Air Supply, what would make it feel like home? Well, the feeling you get, right? I don't get that feeling here. Where would Huxley like to go, Caitlin T? He wants to go wherever I want to go. So will you make some visits to North Carolina? Yes, Topsy. The second I can, I definitely want to. Huxley would go wherever I go, but I know that Huxley would really enjoy mountains or beaches. He's outdoorsy. I think it would be fun to take Huxley to the beach. I'm a beach person. Like I connect with the ocean. There's something about it. I just feel very at peace by the ocean. So yeah, Vicky, it's just at this point, we've been here a year, almost to the day. Tomorrow will be a year ago that I moved here. Did you really, Jan Morless? You got that feeling the first time you visited Raleigh. What are you trying to connect to? Land, environment, or people? All of the above, Time Mark. Yeah, I want to move somewhere where I go, oh my God, the people here are so kind and friendly and outgoing, and it's beautiful. There's like, I'm looking outside right now, and there's like literally like mountains. It's beautiful. So I want something like that. Yeah, everyday AFA. Go to Wyoming, says Mary. Wyoming's probably really pretty. I don't want to go anywhere. I'm from Nebraska, guys, where we have really harsh winters. I don't want to go anywhere where the winters are really heavy, like winters are bad, you know, long, treacherous. I don't want any of that. Portland would probably be beautiful. Yeah. Biloxi, Mississippi, beautiful white beaches and cheap. Interesting, Caitlin. Do you have never been to Mississippi? I've never been to Wisconsin. You connect with the ocean because you're a Cancer sign. Interesting. Oh, wow. Really little. Do you think that you would enjoy the beach, Harriet? Oh my God. The thing is, guys, it's not cheap to move. And I've only been here a year. So I'm going to continue to save. And there's nowhere to go anyway. I need to like take, I don't know how long of a drive it is to drive to North Carolina from here. I would probably drive it and just go for like a 2-day thing, like a weekend, just get a hotel or an Airbnb, check it out. Like I'd like to do that with a lot of different cities. And then we could do a meetup at the same time. But I really would like the idea of like just checking out a city here and there whenever I can. If that makes sense. I want it to be calculated. I would really want to check it out and come back to Missouri. D, I said that yesterday. I said that to my father. I had a cognition. Hawaii. Oh my God, that would be quite a move. Robin. Hey, P. Taylor, by the way. I said that to my dad yesterday. I had a cognition. That's a Scientology word for an epiphany, a realization. I was driving with him in the car and we were in another tiny town, right? Like all of the towns are so little. My dad lived in Kansas City forever. My stepdad, he had his corporate job there. He was the VP of a company there. He also was a cattle rancher here. So he would fly back and forth. Okay. I said to him, as I'm looking out the window, I said, I just realized something. And he said, what? And I said, that's what it is. I said, it is really, really hard to move from such a big place like Kansas City, which is like, you know, very diverse, just like so much going on. Kansas City is like it's on the map, man. It is like really hopping. It's so cool. Kansas City is great. And I said, I'd love that, Renee B. I said, it's really hard to move from somewhere like that where everything is accessible to a place like this and adjust to it, to these tiny towns being in the middle of nowhere. And he went, oh, yeah, it's really hard. And I said, I didn't realize that. Hey, Shadows Nana, I've missed you too. Mainly Linda. Yes. Cute. Let's see your picture. Your grand puppy Shadow. Oh my God, he's so cute. He looks like a little bit of a Great Dane, but I love his coloring. And he said, I wish I would have told you that. It's really hard, guys, to adjust to a tiny little town when you moved from somewhere like Kansas City, where everything was at your fingertips. That is a lot to take for granted. I said that earlier. I have to drive 30 minutes to get to Costco. I have to drive 30 minutes to get anywhere. At the same time, that's a blessing and a curse. I love it. I love not having neighbors. I love all this land, all this space. But I also really miss my lifestyle in Kansas City. Do you guys remember? I would go stream at the drop of a hat, like in my little boutique stores. I'd go hopping around town. I'd go out with Jeff. Like it's isolating here. And I am not hey Hux. He can't hear me. I am not. Oh, that's cool, Allie. I'm not a I'm very social. I'll talk to anyone. I love talking to people. I love getting out and seeing people. I love meeting people. I love getting to know people. You guys know this. So it's kind of been hard on me. Hey, Huxley. I keep hearing him like he's right there. I want him to turn the AC up. I'm freezing. Timark, I don't want to move closer to Nashville is the thing. I don't like it here. Like, I know I'm not going to like it closer to Nashville. Not to mention Nashville is insane. The apartments in Nashville are like $4,000 a month. Nashville is for basically movie stars, like country music people. It's really, really expensive. It's so out of my price range. Like, it's not even. Ghostwriter, I could be a Georgia girl. I've never been to Georgia. I think what would work for me is a town where I can access, like drive to a beach if it's an hour away. I like little like shops. Bye, Linda. Love you, girl. I like that like local feel. There's a place where I used to live in Kansas City called Prairie Village, Kansas. That's where I had my house. And I had no idea how much I took that for granted. There was just like little local places. There was a local hardware store. Everybody was out walking. Like it was just a really low key, just a really nice feel. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. I know when I see it and feel it, I'll feel it. And if I could move back to Prairie Village, I would. It's just so ridiculous. My dad said that yesterday. He said, Prairie Village is one of my favorite places. And I said, mine too. But it's incredibly expensive. It's ridiculous expensive. Like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in Prairie Village goes for 600,000, like a small square footage house. So that's not anywhere I can go back to. I'm glad we talked about this though, because it really is inspiring. And you know what I think? Even though I can't do it today, it's good to set a goal. It's good to like manifest the thought of it, right? And put it out there. California has a lot to choose from, Timark. California's, I've heard, is very expensive though. Yeah, and that's true. Tennessee has no state tax. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. But I really enjoyed this conversation, not so much where I want to move. Yeah, Muffet Lou. I haven't had Chinese food in a year and it makes me really depressed. The food here sucks. I have to be honest. You got to have a goal. Do you have a goal, Yadira? Eureka Springs, Arkansas. I've been there, Cliff Ann, and I did love it. That kind of felt like I could move there. Jeff took me there for my birthday in his haunted ass town. It's super haunted, but I loved Eureka Springs. And I met so many people. Tommy is moving to California. Interesting. I don't think I would believe that. Just everything I know about Tommy, I don't see that, but maybe. So many people, yes, Lisa, that I met in Eureka Springs were like, we came here to visit and we never left. It was weird. It was crazy how many people said that. We came here to visit and we never left. And I was like, that's wild. Um, yeah, Lana. But back to, I'm glad that we talked about what we talked about. And I'm glad that I reached out and spoke to this therapist today, guys. Shame is a real thing. And I want us to be more aware of it than ever. I hear the tone in people's voices all the time of disappointment. And it's so good to be aware of it because now I brush it off. I'm like, Finny, Finny Bun Bun. I brush it off. I'm like, meh, says you. We have to remember that when it comes to haters, when it comes to family, when it comes to anybody who's guilting you, shaming you, it's like, meh, according to you, right? I'm going to keep doing my thing and stay in my lane. He said he's moving to the beach. Oh, so maybe the East Coast. I don't know. Yes, I did hear that Tommy's moving to the beach. No, good for him. That's great. Maybe he'll get some sun, right? I don't know. Yeah, rain, totally, totally. I'm glad though. I'm glad that we had this talk. Wendy, I get that. Finny, Finny Bun Bun. What's tomorrow? Thursday. Hey, Anna Banana. Reese, I heard one of the better books on shame is by Brené Brown. You know, my sister loves her, and I've never read anything by her. I've never watched anything by her. And I should. I've heard really good things. My sister absolutely loves her. When I first moved to Nashville, I couldn't afford to live downtown near Vanderbilt. It was great. Not anymore. Yeah, it's insane. It's absolutely crazy. But that's something, let me see. I had a friend text me yesterday and she said this. She said she was texting me about how fear and anger can literally get stuck in our bodies. Have you ever noticed physical symptoms when you're feeling really stressed, angry, or afraid? And she said, if a genie granted you one wellness wish for yourself or for the world, what would it be? And I thought that was a really good question. I have some good friends. I just have to say, I think you really are who supports you. I think you are who you hang around. And I have very uplifting friends. And I really liked this when she said this. Have you ever noticed physical symptoms when you're feeling really stressed, angry, or afraid? If a genie granted you one wellness wish for yourself or for the world, what would it be? Yeah, Nicole Kidman lives in Nashville. So does Steven Tyler. A bunch of people do. Oh, Mary Barons, we're thinking about you. I'm sure that's hard. Yeah, it's just, I think identifying that people try to put you into a state of fear by shaming you, guilting you. And what happens when you're in fear? You're easy to control. You're easy to manipulate. You're easy to believe things. You become gullible, right? You're going to question less. And I think that's honestly the goal of a lot of people, just because that's what they're used to. Their behavior has been their whole lives. Am I wrong about that? Like maybe I'm being a little dramatic there, but I don't, coming out of Scientology, I see it so much. And I didn't see it in Scientology, right? Like they put us into a state of constant fear. Scientologists are, love you, Jenny. Scientologists are the end of the Silence of the Lambs. When she says, I went to free the lambs, I opened the gate to their pen, but they wouldn't move. They were frozen. They just stood there. They were scared. Those are Scientologists. Why? Because we are put into a state of fear. When you're put into a state of fear, you're easily controlled and manipulated. And I feel like people do that here. It's just on a different level on the outside. And I think people do it a lot. They judge you. People make fun of your body shape, your size. Like they do it without doing it, right? It's not like someone walks up and goes, wow, you're really fat, but like they'll find some clever, manipulative, shitty, passive aggressive thing to say. What about the lady who was like, where can I find some cheap costume jewelry like that? People like put you down to make themselves feel better. They're just super insecure. But the problem is that a lot of people can't handle it. It puts them into a state of fear. Hey, DS Kitty Diana, it makes them feel bad. Shame is a serious ass feeling. And I have I don't know how to put this into words, but lately I don't allow it. I don't know how else to say that. Someone said something to me the other day and I was like, I don't have to feel that way. Why? Because you're trying to make me feel that way? I said that to a person. Because you want me to feel that way? You're clearly trying to make me feel that way. And I don't have to. I have a choice. My thoughts, my feelings, all of those things are controlled by me, not you. And I think people get used to that feeling of like, I'm going to say or do whatever I have to do to make you feel. Yes, Topsy, it's the shittiest thing to do. I don't even understand how it makes themselves feel better. I don't either, because we're not like that. But there are people out there who haven't worked on themselves, who don't want to self reflect. They just want to point fingers. The problem is, it can really make you feel bad. That's the point. People say shit comments to try to make you question yourself when you should be questioning them. Turn it around and question them. Shame and guilt can destroy your body and attitude. Totally, Time Mark. Turn it around to question them. I love it. I love saying, like, what did you mean by that? Can you break down like the thought process behind that? Just hit them with a question back. Was that meant to make me feel that way? Were you trying to get me to feel a certain way? Sounds like someone was trying to control you with shame. I think people, Jessamine, I think people do that all the time. And I think we're so used to it. Why do you think women, especially, and I speak for more on the women's side of things because I'm not a man, why do you think women fucking walk around all the time in society worried about what other people think all day long? I'm not saying all of you do it, but I talk to enough people to know that they do it. We walk around feeling guilty. We walk around feeling, maybe I shouldn't have worn this. We have to look a certain way. We have to act a certain way. What about when people walk up to you and go, you should smile more? Oh, because you say so? Like women walk around in their heads all the time because it's like there's this standard of how we need to be. Is that shame or pressure? I think it depends, Time Mark. Depends on the comments that are made. I feel shame personally on a lot. It depends on what someone says to me, but it can definitely be a matter of shame. Reese did that with my sister. She told me that wasn't what she said at all, but that must have been what I wanted to hear. Double down, Caitlin T. Dang. Family members can be assholes. I know that saying nice things, commenting how good someone looks, lovely hair, super outfit, that makes me feel good to let people know they're seen in a positive way. Totally. Yes, Wendy Ramirez, 100%. You'd be so pretty if you wore makeup. Oh my God. Can you imagine? That's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what comes out of people's mouths. But we don't have to accept it. We don't have to let it in. It's like a boat. Like you don't have to let the water in. It can stay out there. Like people know what they're doing, right? Yeah, Kissy Kitty. I've said that for years now, guys. People know what they're doing. So when people make shit comments like that, and then when they, hey, Cinnamon Roll Vancouver, when they try to backpedal and go, oh, I didn't mean it like that. How did you mean it? How else could you have meant it? Because it sure made me feel a certain way, right? Family members know the soft spots. Yes, I know, Rain. It's so weird what comes out of people's mouths. Now, they're not bad people. I honestly think some people have like a nervous tick about it. Like they feel like they have to fill silence. I know people like that. Like hey, Grateful. I know. That's funny. Grateful said, just say you'd be a lot prettier if you didn't speak to me. Yeah. I mean, why not? I'd fire back too. I don't remember what I just said because Grateful's comment was so good that it threw me off. But I think that's the beauty of it. This is like a whole new game for me. It's weird. Something clicked in the last 3 to 4 weeks. And I don't know if it's remember my last therapy session? This I've really, 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 really applied, and I can't stop applying it. Pause. So like anytime someone says something, okay, I think we're so quick to respond. Why? Because a lot of us are people pleasers and we don't put ourselves first. We don't put ourselves first. And so I think now more than ever, pause. You don't have to give a snap ass answer, okay? Pause. I don't care if it's a question, I don't care if it's a comment. Pause. Check in with yourself. Hey, Killy Billy, and identify that you have a choice in your response. Just because, yeah, I can't stand it, cold truth. Just because somebody expects you to do something the way they want you to do it. I know, guys, I'm an expert on this from Scientology. There's only a certain way we're allowed to act, and it better get done fast. There is no pausing in Scientology. It's move your ass, right? Do what I told you to do, follow policy, or get in trouble. So it's now more than ever. Thank you, Wendy. It's now more than ever when someone says something, I want you to try that. It's really helping me. I am freezing. Pause. Check in with yourself. Yes, old Charlie. And identify that you have a choice. Choose what's best for you. Choose what's best that's going to be most convenient for you, that's going to be most healthy mentally for you. You do not have to set yourself on fire to keep other people warm. And I have been doing that my entire life. Lisa, I'm glad because I feel like the people who this needs to reach will, and other people it won't. But I have been really applying. Stuck in my bracelet. Damn it. There we go. I have been really, really applying that. Yeah, Wendy, the pause makes me feel so uncomfortable and stupid. It's weird. I just barf bad responses quickly. Paradoxically, I respect people that take a moment and say, let me think about that before respond. It's almost like a habit you have to form. I've got to do this now or I'm going to go crazy. Yeah, Angel K, guys, you're talking to an ex-Scientologist. There is no room to breathe. You got to get it done and you got to get it done fast. Okay? So it is it's a challenge for me to behave this way. But I have to live in my head. Nobody else does. And I want to make things best for me and Huxley and easiest for me and Huxley. And that doesn't make you a selfish person. Yeah, you almost have to retrain your brain, Lisa. But it's perfectly, I don't care if it's your boss. I don't care if it's your husband, your dad, your best friend, right? Pause. Check in with yourself. Because the other thing that we do a lot, shame is the religion you grew up in, cold truth. Legalistic Baptist. It was hard for me to break out of that cycle. I'm sorry, but I'm glad you did. Interesting, Sandra. Thank you for telling me that. It's a habit we have to create, but we should be doing that all the time. Check in with yourself. That's the problem. Ghostwriter says, what does check in with yourself mean? I'm glad you asked that because it's probably different for everyone, Ghostwriter. But check in with yourself to me, I was just going to say this and I'm glad you asked. Do you ever have somebody like you immediately? So I've been trying this lately too, this exercise. Why go with how I feel? This is from a reel I watched. Why would I go with, wait, what did she say? Now I forgot. Why would I go with how I think when I can feel? So you should always, your gut tells you don't have to wait on a gut reaction to anything, a gut response, whether it be good or bad, right? An emotion from your gut, your intuition. But what people do is they get that gut response and then they immediately override it with thinking. And I will give you an example of that. Night, Jojo, love you, babe. An example of that is we've all experienced this. All over 300 people in here have experienced this at least once. Have you ever met someone and you're like, they gave me like bells and whistles went off in a bad way. They made me uncomfortable. And then somebody goes, no, She's great. Are you kidding? Everybody loves her. He's a great guy. Oh, no, you got the wrong impression. He's fantastic. You'll love him. You got to get to know him. You got to get to know him. No. And none of us do that. But our initial reaction told us everything we need to know. Or it may be a person, it might be a situation, a room that you enter into, a part of the city that you're at, going on a fucking date with somebody. I don't care. I don't care what it is. We've all, hey, K-Fic, I love you. We've all experienced that in one form or another where we're like, we walk into something or we meet someone and we're like, ooh. We override it all the time with a thought. We fight it with our mind. The gut says everything it needs to say, and then we use our mind to control that and go, no, no. Sarah knows him and he's great. Yeah, I don't know. I just got a weird feeling. We're good. No. So to me, ghostwriter checking in with yourself is identifying that. How do I feel about this? So that's subjective. Everybody's going to give a different answer on that. But when I say check in with yourself, if someone says, hey, we're all going here and you need to join us at 7:00 tonight, instead of going, okay, because I feel like I have to, because it was pressured, instead pause, check in with yourself. Does that work for me? Because I usually go to bed at 9 and I won't be home then till like 10. No, that doesn't work for me. I wish I could join you guys, but I can't. Yes, Jessamine. So check in with yourself and identify that you have options. You don't have to just do what people say. You don't have to just be pressured into shit. I lived my life that way in Scientology, and it's a nightmare. You're setting other people, you're setting yourself on fire to keep everybody else warm. And women tend to do that, Scientology or not. I know this. I've talked to a lot of women. We tend to people please and put everybody else first, and we're in the back of the fucking line. And we shouldn't do that. We should identify that we have a choice and check in with us. Check in with you. You have to live in here, right? Nobody else. And if you're miserable, then the people around you won't be happy either. And I do get that some things we just have obligations that we have to do, right? But I still think it's important to just, it's even a form of self-care to go, how do I feel about this? Do you ever have somebody ask you and it just feels different? Do you ever have someone go, how are you doing? Instead of just like your average person walking by going, hi, how are you? Like, I mean, real, like a real question. How are you doing? Do you ever go, thanks for asking. I think I'm doing pretty good. Like, do you ever reflect on that? Time Mark, I'll tell you in just a second. Does it ever feel good when someone actually says, like, how are you? How are you holding up? That's getting somebody to, hey, Holiday, that's getting a person to get you to check in with yourself. That's a person getting you to check in with yourself. It's self fucking care. So say it to yourself. How am I doing? We're so busy throughout the day and we're so in the motions of our routines and like, we just do this and then we do this and then we do this. And by the time we get home, we drop off the kids and we do that. Great. Those are great routines. But still, check in with yourself. Right? So what was the third thing? Pause. Check in with yourself and identify that you have a choice. That's all. Everything should be about consent. And if you don't feel like, I think it's fair to pause, check in with yourself, and then you can say to a person, that doesn't really work for me, but I want to make this work. You don't want to be a jerk to people, right? It's okay to say, I want to make this work, but that doesn't work for me. I want to make this so that it's a win for everybody. How can we compromise here to where I feel good about it and you feel good about it? Because I don't want to set me on fire to keep you warm. And I think people don't do that. We just want to make people happy. And then we leave the situation going, I wish I hadn't done that. I wish I hadn't have agreed to that. How many of us have done that? I do that shit all the time. Not as much anymore. But back when I had more of a life and I was involved and married and all of that, I would constantly cut myself down and then go, why did I agree to that? Why did I say yes to that? That doesn't work for me. Why am I agreeing to this shit? I don't want to do it. Like, and then it's on you. Right? Like we have to. Nobody is going to advocate for us like that. And they shouldn't, because nobody lives in here with you. You have to live with you, you have to die with you. Pause, check in with yourself, and identify that you have options. You don't have to answer right away. I know I'm harping on this, but it's something that's really changed a lot for me lately. Like a lot, like a lot, a lot. Like, this is stupid, but like I've been in public lately. He's sleeping. Oh no, he's sitting in the windowsill, DNV. What happened to me? Who was I talking to? Holy shit, I can't remember. I was in public. Thanks, Wendy. Every child should absolutely, Honey Lou. That is something every kid should learn coming out of the gate. Pause, check in with you, and identify that you have a choice. You have a voice and you have a choice. Every kid should feel that way. Hey, Kat. Oh my God, I can't remember, but I was dealing with somebody in a customer service situation. I can't remember who it was. And the girl was being super rude to me. And I had questions. That was it. I'm not going to say where I was because I don't want to out them. I was at a place and I paid and I was about to walk away and she goes, "Oh, I forgot to charge you another $20 for this." And I said, "What? For what?" And she was like, "It's just our policy. It's $20 for," and she couldn't explain it to me. It like didn't make any sense. And in the past, I would have been like, "Okay, here's my card. I don't know. All right." Yeah, ghostwriter. And she was like, "It's just our policy. It's a fee that we charge for." And I was like, "But for what?" And she was like, it's just a policy. Yes, Sunrise Joy, learn daily and welcome in. She was like, she just kept saying, it's just a policy. Like, I'm assuming that's what she tells everybody else and they just go for it and they just pay the money. But I was like, but for what? And she was like, it's just our policy. It's a fee that we charge. And I said, but that doesn't make any sense. Like, what is it for? And she's looking at the person next to her and she was like looking to her for help. And I start looking at the person next to her, and the person next to her is like older and more sure of herself. And she's like, it's just our policy. And I was like, well, she just said that 11 times. I'm trying to find out why. And she was getting pissed off. And this lady goes, you're just not going to accept this answer, are you? She goes, you're just not happy about it, are you? That's what she said to me. And so what was she doing in that situation? She was putting it on me and making it my problem. And I identified that. I paused. I was in my mind trying to run down what they're telling me. So instead of like in the moment, you're all kind of in a hurry and it's getting heated and people are getting weird and there's people behind me, I normally would have just been like, fine, here, $20, just take it. I don't care. That always would have been my response. It's $20, whatever. Take the fucking money. Let me just get out of here. That's how I would have reacted. And they were getting flustered and I wasn't. And she goes, you're not happy, are you? And she goes, you're not going to accept this as an answer. And I said, why would I? I said, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not unhappy at all. I'm not angry. And I said, I know there's people behind me, but I have all the time in the world. It's $20 and you want it, but you can't explain it to me. And I need to see something in writing or I need to understand why. And I said, there's two of you here. Neither one of you are doing a good job at explaining it to me. But the thing is, she was putting the problem on me. She was making it seem like I was the problem. And the reason I'm telling you this is that's very new behavior for me. Especially, like I said, as an ex-Scientologist, I would have been like, fuck it, take the money, I'm out of here. Bye. Like, boom, boom, boom. Hurry, hurry, hurry. That's how we live. So I paused and I really applied that. I said it in my head. I was like, pause, check in with yourself and trust your gut. Something doesn't feel right. Something feels off. Now, I was in a public place. It's not like I was unsafe. This is just shady practices on a business's part. But I love how a couple of things happened. They were trying to like pressure me into it, and they weren't accepting that I had questions. This reminds me of Huxley's school. That principal would get really pissed at me. And I said that to her the last time I talked to her. She was like, it's just our policy. And I said, right, but you've never shown me a rule book. I've never gotten a copy of your policies. And she was like, we're not entitled to give you a copy of our handbook policies. She was like, but it's our policy, I assure you. And I said, right, but you don't like being questioned. And that's a problem. I said, I am going to question you and I want to know. And you know what she said to me, actually? She goes, I'm done having this conversation. She was like, I will no longer have any more conversations with you. And I said, okay, then give me the number for the person I'm going to have a conversation with that's above you, because I'm not done. And that's what I said to her. You don't have to get pissed. People can make you their problem, but I'm not the fucking problem. Me questioning your authority is the problem. Me questioning your store policies is the problem. And that's not my problem. What was the $20 for? It was I can't tell you where it was. I'll text it to you, Kestrel, because I don't want to I'm not trying to slam anybody. You're right, Mama Cat. I'm from the Midwest, friendliest people around. It was a deposit. It was a deposit. They were trying to tell me it was like a restocking fee type deposit. Like they were throwing all these fucking words out at me, like thinking I would accept it. She was like, it's a restocking fee deposit. I was like, what other words can you throw at me? You're not giving me an answer. And, you know, of course, all I could hear behind me was this. Yeah, I was like, I actually said when I was leaving, because it was a fucking person that was giving me a stink eye. And when I turned around, she was tapping her foot and she went, and I said, I was born and raised in Scientology. You're going to have to do better than that. That's a shit ass response. You're going to have to dial up the volume on this if you want any kind of a reaction out of me. And I walked away. Don't say other words. I was at the DMV for 6 hours yesterday. Literally every 4 seconds, you heard a, I was like, damn, can we get some mints in here for free? Like people are blowing hot air all over me and some of it smells like beef jerky. Yeah, no, you don't scare me with your exhale, your deep, deep exhale. This isn't fucking yoga. Like I'm not intimidated by you breathing your mouth breath all over me. I'm not at all. You can breathe all day long like James Gandolfini, and I'm not going to fucking freak out. Okay. I'm not going to freak out in my little Adidas Sambas. Okay. But yeah, no, that's a prime example. It's a prime example. In the past, I would have been like, okay, just take my money, bye. And I would have accepted it. And that's the point. That's my exact point. Question. I don't give a shit if 40 people are standing behind you. I got every right to be here. And it's my money. Right? Caitlin T. It's my money. And I want answers. And I want it in writing. I want to see stuff. Like, show me. And it was the same thing with Huxley's shit-ass school. She was like, I don't have to answer any more questions. She was like, I am no longer going to speak to you. And I was like, great. Somebody's going to speak to me. So give me the fucking phone number for who's going to speak to me. You think I'm going to go away? I was a Scientologist. Stop it. I wish people would understand that. We need to get t-shirts. I was a Scientologist. Should I just get that like right here? Maybe I should get I am a Scientologist. That's more threatening. I feel like that's a little bit more threatening. Scientologist. I am a Scientologist. Don't F around, okay? We got all the time in the world to stand here and tango. I've got all the time in the world. What time do you guys close? Great. Let's have a chat. Show me your policies. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not trying to be someone who's like, let me speak to your manager. Stacy Toms, I'm a bull baiter. Yeah, don't do it. Yeah, I'm not trying to say like, go get your manager. But when somebody says we're going to need $20 and you can't explain why, I need to know, right? It's weird. When somebody says your kid is a problem, I'm going to need to know facts, times, details, names, what happened, because I'm going to do the same thing with him. And I want to make sure that both stories add up. And I want to make sure that he gets the proper punishment for what he did, if he did it. Right. But I'm not just going to believe you blindly because you're the school principal. Nope. And she didn't want to be questioned. You're going to go join Scientology tomorrow, Angel K. I'll meet you there. That's a great org. It's the Celebrity Center in Nashville. My dad is public there. I'll see you in the morning. Yeah, it was just weird. And she said, and she made it worse. Like, again, she put the problem back on me, which was a big mistake. Again, it's because I was pausing and checking in with my fucking self. I had the time to do that. And that's self-care. So she says to me, she goes, you don't like this, do you? She was like, you're not taking this answer, are you? And I was like, what gave you that impression? No, I'm not going to be bullshitted, right? I'm not going to be lied to and bullshitted. I want answers. Yeah, don't be, come on. I say this to the haters who hate me. I'm like, guys, a lot of you didn't do any professional bull baiting and it shows. You cannot come along after a 38-year Scientologist, have nothing to do with Scientology, and make this fucking YouTube channel and think you're going to bully and cyberbully and attack me. Sweet Jesus. Come on. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, right? Like, we have no thoughts or feelings. There's no emotions rolling around in here. Like, we can take it. We can take it. It flips like a switch. What does bull baiting mean? Really, Holiday? Bull baiting is a drill done in Scientology. I've probably had at least 4,000 hours. I started at the age of 4. A coach sits here with a student, and you do everything you possibly can to make that student break into emotion. So whether it be laugh, cry, get angry, flinch, twitch, smirk, anything, right? Yeah. So the bad thing about bull bait is it becomes very inappropriate. I was a probably 8-year-old girl. I might have been 7. And I'm sitting there. Okay, I figured, Holly. And I'm sitting there in the chair. Hey, Don Clark. And you have to sit straight up, hands on your knees, and you have to just, it's called be there comfortably. No speaking, right? And I had a fully grown man. He was probably 55, 60 years old. Hey, Kaz, in between my legs at the age of 7 or 8, pretending to do oral sex on me. Literally in between my legs, going, pretending to perform oral sex on me. The problem with that is, well, there's a whole list of problems. But the main problem with that is, as a 7-year-old or an 8-year-old, I was going, I was really uncomfortable. And the problem is, if you break concentration, you flunk. So then now we have to flatten that button. You have a button on that. So he had to do that. So he would go flunk. Good, start. So then I'd sit there again and he'd go, and I would go, I was so uncomfortable. This is the first time I can talk about this without crying. And he would go flunk, start. And you do it over and over and over again until I was calm and I had no reaction or emotion about it. And it took probably an hour for me to get to that point. Love you, Lisa Kelson. Tell Craig hi. So they can do this. They can say, your mom's a piece of shit. They can do something to make you laugh. Like, they can get up and dance and like make you giggle. They can do anything they possibly. Time Mark, is that recorded when I was little? No. They can do anything and everything. Bull bait is to bull bait you. It's to get you to react. So I've had thousands and thousands of hours of that starting at the age of 4. We started at 4. So that's why my ex-husband and I used to fight, because he'd go crazy mad and he'd spit on my glasses and he'd get in my face and scream. And I would immediately. And he would go, you're turning on your fucking bull bait. Stop being a Scientologist. You're bull baiting me. Your bull bait's kicking in, right? And he was right. It was, because Scientologists are trained to not react. So, you know, all of my people who hate me in this world, if I say anything, what do? People react. They jump out out of the bushes and they react and they bah, 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 bah. I don't do that. A lot of Scientologists don't do that. And I'm thankful for it. I don't react right away to many things. Nothing really makes me react because we're desensitized, very, very desensitized, deactivated. Why can't they make it age appropriate, for Christ's sake? Shell, because they're first of all, there is no age appropriate in Scientology. Kids are not kids. Kids are beings, regular beings that are 76 trillion years old in small bodies. LRH says that. Kids are not fucking kids. There's no pass because you're a kid. No. Why would that make him upset? Would he rather you snap and yell back? Absolutely, Time Mark. Jeff wanted to fight. Most people want to fight. So it's like the haters, right? When they come out and make a hate video about me, they're sitting here doing this, waiting, right? Waiting. They want me so bad to come out, name them, and fight. Most people want that. They want a reaction. They're trying to get a rise. Come on, anything to get a fight. You think I don't know that? You're not going to get one unless it's something really bad. I don't give a holy shit. And I did the same thing with Jeff. And he'd go, "You're bull baiting me. Stop bull baiting me." And he'd spit all over my face and I would just stand there. Reactionless. I blink slowly like that on purpose. He never got a fight. I mean, he did sometimes. Sometimes he would get it bad enough. He wouldn't stop. Or if he did anything to Huxley, he knew how to make me come unglued. Absolutely. If he did anything to Huxley, I would lose my mind. But that was about it. So it's Scientology bull bait is a tool used to make us all totally reactionless, to make us all totally emotionless. And I've had that bull bait's been done on me probably more than anything else. Anything else. So when people reach out to me and go, "Did you hear so-and-so said this about you? Did you hear so-and-so made a video about you?" I'm like, whew. I've been through Scientology. Like, not much is gonna, some fucking stranger making a video about me isn't going to make me flinch at all, right? Thank you, Wendy. It's not I don't know. Wendy says you're more strong than the haters give you credit for. I don't know. Is it strength or is it just I have been formed and molded to be that way? I don't know. But I know it's a tool that I have naturally within me that I'm not so sure it will ever go away. And I'm not sure that I want it to go away. I'm grateful for that. I can't imagine reacting to every little thing that people say. I can't imagine it. Like the people who are like, "I want to talk to the manager. This is cold." Are you fucking serious? Like, get bigger problems. Really? Like, you want to throw a fit over that shit? It's reactionary. It's so reactionary. You can't really get me to react to a lot of things. It takes a lot for me to get to like a point of like I'm really upset or reacting. It's very hard to do. I just don't care enough to. I don't give a shit about what other people say about me. I never did. We've been trained for that. Bull baiting might help with not showing reaction, but how do you handle the upset or feelings about it? What feelings? This is the sad truth, Time Mark. Love you, Vicki Andrews, and I'll let you guys go. We've been on long enough. This is painful because it hurts people in the outside world. We are really trained to not feel. So like when someone would, yeah, I mean, it's just, we don't feel the same way a lot of human, so since I was little, what did my dad say? No H-E and R in this house. Human emotion and reaction. We take that very seriously. No human emotion and reaction is allowed in Scientology. So you don't get mad or hurtful about it, Time Mark? No, I really don't. what I was going to say that's bad is like if someone committed suicide, I don't know of anyone that, that's not true. There's one person I heard of that committed suicide in Scientology, but I didn't know the guy. But when Scientologists would discuss suicide, all of us would be like, so? There's no feeling or emotion about anything. When someone in Scientology would say, hey, did you hear that Dave died? Heart attack. Well, I wish him well. He'll probably be back by spring, right? I'm sure we'll see him again. We don't think the same way. There's no emotion. There's no feeling. That's why I come on this fucking channel now. And this is why it's my godsend, because I'm feeling and everything for the first time in a lot of ways. I come on here and I can't control my emotions. I cry. I feel like I felt the sun for the first time. I'm like, God, that's so warm. You guys are so nice. Like I've met human beings. That is not in Scientology. It's extremely cold. Nobody parents anybody. So it's like you're not a mother to anyone. Everybody's your parent. Everybody's mean. People throw fax machines at your head. It's very, very different environment. And I feel like there is no sun from the very beginning. It's cold and it's dark. And I'm not trying to be dramatic. Hey, Original Ann, I love you. You were taught to bury emotions. However, those feelings bubble their way to the surface eventually. It always destroys your body internally to hide your emotions. And yeah, Wendy Ramirez. So I think actually, Time Arc, I like your question. Thank you, Lindy. I love you too. I like your question because Time Arc was like, so you don't feel anything? That's the problem. I feel all the time now. It's like it's like my faucets that had emotion were totally shut off my whole life. This is how I think. I think in pictures, concepts. It's like all of a sudden now the faucets are shot way the hell up high and it's flooding out of me. I cry over everything. I'm also very joyful over everything. I've said that to you guys. I'm like, I know this isn't a big deal to you. You guys know this is a simple thing. Because a lot of you will be like, Reese, we learned that when we were 12. And I'm like, but I didn't. I didn't know Antarctica wasn't a state. Like I get really excited because I'm like, holy shit. That's crazy that humans think that. I didn't know that. So I get ridiculously probably emotional about things that are basic. I say that a lot. I'm like, I know this is simple. I know this is basic to you guys, but it's not to me. Right? Also, love you, D. It goes the opposite too. Like if I see a really sad story or if something sad that happened to me in Scientology, while it wasn't sad then, it was normal. It's very sad now. Being a 7 or 8 year old little girl sitting in a chair with a fully grown man in his 50s, pretending to perform oral sex on me to get me to shudder and be scared and uncomfortable and upset with no parents around is horrific. He should be in prison for that. Right? But that was normal up until 2 years ago for me. I talked about that 2 years ago in Scientology. And I mean, I would see that happening to 7-year-olds when I was an adult. I walked right past it. It meant nothing to me. I was like, yeah, that happened to me. He did that to me. Sucks. But I mean, yeah, we're so used to it. It's like walking past wallpaper. I'm sorry to say that. I know that's upsetting. And I know a lot of you right now are going, what the fuck, Reese? It's just, it's nothing to me. It meant nothing to me. Now it means everything to me. Now I can talk about it without crying, but I feel like I'm going to cry. It's traumatic as shit. It's crazy to go from normal to, whoa, that was so wrong. And it's happening to other kids right now. And I can't go in there to do anything about it. When swallowing too many emotions in Scientology, didn't it make you tired? I get tired with that. Love you, Mary Barons. Not really. There's no time to take a pause, check in with yourself, and see your own choices on things. That's what Laura FM said. We call it abuse. You call it normalized behavior. Yes, Laura's right. Laura makes a lot of good points. I've only met her once, but I really liked her. Holly says they may be basic to you, but most of us here needs to be reminded of these lessons you're going through. Thank you, Holly. I mean, it doesn't hurt to go through these kinds of lessons and be reminded. I agree. It humbles people and it makes you reflect on things. And it also hopefully makes you give more grace to people. That's what it does for me. It really makes you kind of go, some of us don't know. And that's okay. It doesn't make us stupid. We just don't know. That's, yeah, we call it abuse. You call it normalized behavior. That's Laura is absolutely right. It is normalized behavior. It's all I knew. Started at the age of 4. I didn't have a prayer, right? But now, yeah, lots of compassion for people. I think it was always there for me. It was just suppressed. Compassion is not allowed in Scientology. Feeling is not allowed. But now that I'm out here, the faucets are turned on all the time. I check in with Huxley all the time. I'm like, is anybody bullying you? Is anything going on? Is there anything I need to know about? Are you okay? Like, I don't want to helicopter parent him, but I also feel like I have a lot of lost time to make up for where I wasn't checking in on his emotions because I didn't have them myself. I couldn't identify my own emotions. Right? Me too, Haggis. So, guys, this was a good stream and I'm glad we did it. I feel like we need to cover this stuff more often and you need to prompt me to do it because I really like going through the thick of this because we get out to the other side and I realize new things every time. These stories need to be told. People don't really know the abuse that is happening inside of Scientology. That way, the authorities know what to do and what to ask for. Yes. Hey, Truth Seeker. Please, thank you, Original Ann. I love you, girl. Yeah, thank you, Wendy. Guys, hit subscribe before you leave. Probably so. Yeah, people have probably been bull baited, just not in Scientology. Yeah, absolutely. It's just different, I think, because we spend hours and hours and hours and hours of it, right? Like they want you to be emotionless, no human emotion and reaction, and they start you off very young, right? Thank you, Honey Lou. That's so kind. I really love you guys. Thank you for the boost. I needed this today. I've just kind of been feeling low for some reason. I'm not even sure why. Thank you, Stacy Toms. Love you, girl. Thank you, Topsy. I love you too, Topsy. I can't either, Joy Forbes. Hey, Funky Mama. Good to see you, babe. Yeah, it's so hidden, love it. Like the police don't know about this stuff. There is no police in Scientology. They police everything in there, right? So like no one ever knows what's going on. Time Mark, I think we'll do it this weekend. Probably Saturday, Friday or Saturday for sure. Maybe both. All right, guys, hit subscribe. Thank you for your super chats, your memberships as always. I appreciate it so much. It's very, very much, Hux and I are very grateful. Thank you for being here and listening to me. I needed this. Again, I was just kind of feeling not myself. So thank you. And love you too, Angel K. And I will be back tomorrow to see you guys. We'll do this again. Cold Truth, thank you for being here and welcome again. I hope that you come back. I really hope to see you again. Love you, Jessamine. And bye, Wendy. And I will see you, Kathy Ann. You've never been more relatable. Relatable Reese. Thank you. Love you, Heather Landau. See you, Truth Seeker. I love you guys. And here comes Fred. Mods, thank you for being here. Good night, Sandy Kovacs. Good night, Kat. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.